What is up, everybody in YouTube land, and welcome to this episode of From the Mind of an Appliance Technician. I am your friendly neighborhood appliance technician, Chris, and this is my channel, C&G Appliance Television. Thank you guys so much for being here. You could be 50,000 other places on YouTube right now, but you're right here with me, and thank you for that. So, shop announcements. There's quite a lot, actually. I was going to film a technical video on a belt and tensioner kit for a Speed Queen AWN 412, but my phone decided to shut off in the middle of it, and I didn't get everything that I wanted to anyway, which is just as well because that kit didn't fix the noise that I thought it was. And you guys know I keep everything 100% real on this channel. I'm not perfect, nobody is, and this one I heard a noise coming from it, dropped a little money on it thinking it may be okay, maybe it's the tensioner pulley. Took a, I think, $30 gamble on it, and didn't end up paying off for me. So I'm gonna have to source a motor. Fortunately, I think I can. I think I can source a motor secondhand, which is the only real way to do one of those. It is the 380304, I believe, or 334. I can't remember what that part number is for that motor, but Speed Queen basically made two motors over the course of their top load washing machine existence. There was a single speed and a two speed, and this has the two speed motor. So that one is a little bit easier to source. It's a little cheaper, but it's still like $200 my cost, and I'm gonna have to find something secondhand. Fortunately, I think I have a line on something. I'll keep you guys updated on that as we go forward with it. And I'm going to, if I get to the motor replacement, I think I'm just going to go ahead and just do a technical video on that, because that kind of goes through the steps of also how to replace that tensioner kit as well. It's the same kind of steps, and I'll fill you guys in on that as I do it, if I do. It all just depends on whether or not I can get a motor for it. The noise sounds like it's coming from the motor. It sounds like small bearing noise. It's kind of rotational at the frequency that it should be at the bottom half of the transmission that's moving, what is it, counterclockwise? Yes, counterclockwise for agitation. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. We'll just leave that one at that. The stack unit still is not sold. I actually had to drop my price on it because I didn't have the interest in it that I thought I did. Maytag stack units are kind of silver unicorns, but when you're dealing with the used market, nobody really thinks that. I mean, nobody's an enthusiast, I'll put it that way. Very few people are. So they don't see the same value in it that, like I would. I look at it as it's a stack unit that is probably a third of the price of a new one that is a better machine than the new one. So that's kind of what I based my price on, and I'm still going to have to drop it, but that's okay. I mean, it wasn't really a big deal, and we'll see if we get any interest in that. So that's pretty much everything I've got going on in the shop. For the company, I also have another Speed Queen that I'm working on. This has been like the month of Speed Queens, guys. I have done more Speed Queen work, whether it be commercial or residential or just on my own. I've done several, a couple, well, actually more like 2 months, because I've done a couple, actually like 3 or 4 766 P3A seal kits in a row, Some have been warranty work, some have been on my own. Um, it's just been a crazy whirlwind of Speed Queen stuff, which is really uncharacteristic, but it happens. Was fortunate enough to get into a Samsung dryer today as well. That was an interesting experience. Just comes apart like any other dryer. As most of you know, I don't typically work on Samsung or like anything Electrolux or what is it, or LG. Those are the ones that I don't typically work on unless times are really slow, and they have been. So we've been taking on some work that we don't typically in the or for the company. I've been taking on some work for them that I don't typically, which is fine. I mean, I don't. I've always told them that I will work on whatever they put in front of me. It's not, it doesn't matter to me. So that's pretty much shop and company news kind of combined. And I want to get on to today's topic, and I'm gonna get real with everybody right now. By the way, this is Thursday. No, Wednesday. I've been thinking it's Thursday all day. I'm screwed up. All kinds of crazy. But it is Wednesday, January 29th, 2020. And I wanted to just thank everybody that I have met through YouTube, everybody that I've reached out to, that's reached out to me. Shout out to Brandon at TMM, of course. You were the one that started this all, bro. Thank you so much. Shout out to Mike Check at Mike Check Appliance. Shout out to Mario at Polaire. Everybody who I have had dealings with over the course of, just being on YouTube for the short amount of time that I have. You guys have enriched my life, and I hope I've helped a little bit to enrich yours. It's kind of a give and take. We sort of help each other out. It's really a great community that has been put together here. This is kind of how we find each other, and it's really a great thing because, and I'm going to kind of paraphrase something that Mike Check touched on, and I'm going to kind of expand on it a little bit. But as appliance technicians, we're primarily solitary. We're by ourselves most of the day. Yes, we interact with customers on a daily basis, and we try to fill our brains with the most technical information that we possibly can. Some of us also have businesses to run as well. Shout out to all my guys who are running businesses. Y'all know who you are. Y'all out there keep killing it. It's inspiring stuff, really. But it's great to have a community of people that come together. Oh, and shout out to Appliance Boot Camp, Taylor Cousins. I haven't really talked as much to you guys, but I'm going to plug your channel on here. This is kind of like, it's a community, man, and sharing information and things like that is honestly what makes us all better technicians. Because really, there are schools for this, obviously. I mean, there's Master Samurai Academy. There's a few others that I have forgotten. I was trying to remember in my head. Of course, there's Appliance Boot Camp as well, which I mentioned previous. That's a whole other level. That's like doing great things for kids who wouldn't have an opportunity otherwise, and that's just beyond admirable. My father, for years, was a Voc school teacher, and he was always very adamant through growing up as a kid, if you call yourself a technician, you have to be able to solve problems, and you have to be able to diagnose things correctly, to the best of your ability, of course. And you know that has kind of been drilled into my head over the course of growing up, and my high school career. He taught for most of while I was in high school, and he helped me use the facilities to build my own motors and to learn myself. And that's what got me started thinking that I really wanted to work with my hands. There was one day where I came to him, and it was after I had an '86 IROC Camaro when I was in high school, and I drove it home one afternoon from school, because I worked a few days of the week, and some days of the week I just came home because I didn't have work. I had homework and stuff like that I had to do. So I came home that day from school, and my radiator exploded on me, and it was an easy enough change that I thought I could do it, and but I just didn't know where to start. And luckily enough, I had my dad there, and he helped me a lot where he could. And this was after I had built a motor, with him. Him and I had built a small block Chevy when I was 15. This is after I was driving, obviously. And I replaced, or he helped me replace it, and it was a real low car. And he had to bend over it and help me yank the radiator out and things like that, and basically show me what to do because I didn't know. And he said, I'll just, after a while, he was like, I'm just getting too old for this. And I thought about it really hard, and I finished. He had to take a break and leave, and then I think I finished it up or something like that myself. And I went in, that night, and my folks were settled into bed, and I just kind of knocked on their door, and I said, hey, I think I know what I want to do with my life. I want to be an auto mechanic. And my dad sits up and he says, are you sure? And I said, yeah, I think so. And he got me in with the auto shop, and we toured a couple of, I went with them to tour a couple of colleges, and I went to a regular high school, and I was fortunate to have him as a teacher in a tech school, because when I was entering high school, when I had a chance, leaving middle school, I could have either gone to the technical school, which would have been Cape Cod Tech, or I could have gone to a regular high school. And I wanted to stay with my friends, and I kind of looked at my friends and said, what are you doing? And they were like, well, we're going to go to high school, and blah blah blah. So that's where I wound up. I wound up following them. And as a result, I never really gained any early experience in a trade that I later on, by senior year at that point, decided that I wanted to do. So, and there's so much pressure on regular high school children, like regular ed high school children, to go to a college. And it's college isn't for everybody. And I graduated the General Motors ASEP program with a 2-year degree, but it's just a 2-year degree. It's an associate's in applied science with or associate's in automotive science, I think is what it actually is. But and without that course, I wouldn't know how to read a diagram, a wire diagram. I wouldn't know half of the stuff that helps me today. And everybody has different experiences, and that can segue me back into the community, because, like, let's say I've been in the trade for 9 years, right? And somebody else who's been in the trade the same amount of time as me might not have seen the same stuff or learned to do things the same way as me. And as a result of that, those different experiences that we've kind of perfected, like we've perfected our own crafts in our own little worlds. But now, thanks to this platform, we can share all that. We can share our thoughts and feelings and everything like that throughout the day, just like I'm doing here. We can post technical information. We can help each other out in a manner that was not possible, even 15 years ago. Well, I don't know how long YouTube has been around, but because I'm trying to think, and 15 years ago, did it even exist? But anyway, a number of years ago, we weren't even able to do it, and I remember those times. I guess that's gonna date me a little bit, but I remember when information wasn't as readily available as it is today. Guys, in the age of information, ignorance is a choice. I firmly believe that ignorance is a choice. If you see, and I'm the type of person, I always have to be learning something. If I'm not learning something, I feel like I'm stagnating. I can never know everything. There's no possible way that I can know everything in this trade. And if anybody sees me doing something on my technical videos that is incorrect, please tell me, and I will address it. That's totally. I'm totally open to that kind of criticism, guys. I like to give people the straight story on things, and as a technician in my professional life, I get a lot of respect for that, I guess. And this is just going off of what other people have told me. Other people have told me I'm a straight shooter, and because I was always told when I shouldn't let me tell myself, I guess, that I'm good at something. I should let other people tell me that I'm good at something, or I should let other people tell me that positive thing that I think about myself, and then it's kind of validated, I suppose. So I as a result of my personal experience, I have a skill. As a result of this platform, I'm able to share that with everybody, and I'm able to connect with other technicians, like everybody out there who I've already mentioned, and some I even didn't. Definitely, I mean, and Master Samurai. Where do I start? That gentleman has really influenced me to become a better technician, to troubleshoot everything from err on the side of minimal disassembly. I find myself constantly striving to be a better technician through you guys, through you all out there. You help me, and I only hope that I'm helping you in some way. So shout out to everybody. You know who you are. With that, we're approaching the 20-minute mark. Thank you guys so much for listening to me ramble. This is C&G Appliance Television, and I thank you so much for watching. Y'all stay tuned for another episode, and I'll see you next time.